Today we're going to talk about constructing a circumcenter and an incenter for a triangle. Now a circumcenter, remember circumscribing means going around the outside. Inscribing means going on the inside. So circumcenter is circumscribing a circle around the triangle. Incenter is going to be a circle in the triangle. So we're going to start with a circumcenter, okay? And the center point of my circle, so my circle has to go through points A, B, and C. The center point of my circle then needs to be equal distance from A, B, and C. Well, if I want a point equal distance from A and B, we've made a conjecture already about that being on the perpendicular bisector of AB. So I'm going to construct a perpendicular bisector, making half circles. I put my compass point at B and my pencil at A, and it's coming around. I'm making a half circle. Now I'm going to switch my point to A and do B. Now I just take my straight edge and I connect the 2 points from my half circle. Okay, that is one perpendicular bisector. I'm now going to go ahead and do BC. So I've got my compass point at B, I make my half circles. And I connect to the lines. And finally, I will do AC. I'm adjusting my compass so that I'm on both ends. And being careful because I've got several here that are overlapping. And I'm not perfect here. These should intersect all at one point. I'm gonna go with the middle of it's going to be pretty good, kind of the middle of my little triangle. My three perpendicular bisectors should intersect perfectly at a point. I can see with some of mine that I did not hit my intersections dead on with my perpendicular bisectors. So, but when I make this, I should be able to put my compass point at my point where the three perpendicular bisectors meet and draw a circle. And hopefully, in your case, your compass does not pull out and you get a good circle that goes through each of the 3 points. Okay, mine hit all 3 points. I'm right on A here. I'm going to draw it again, try to make it a little darker. My compass got larger. So it's really important when you're drawing these not to accidentally bump the part that makes it larger. And I will get a little darker pen, kind of trace around this circle that is hitting all 3 points of my figure. And there is a circumcenter. We've got something similar on the back side. So you can practice on a couple of these. To do an incenter means I'm going to have points equal distance from each side. Now, we've talked about constructing an angle bisector, and I'm going to go through that in a little more detail again. a couple weeks ago. An angle bisector gives me a line that is equal distance from the sides. So where the angle bisectors meet will be equal distance from all three sides. And so that will give me the center point of a circle that's going to fit inside my triangle. So to make an angle bisector, to construct an angle bisector, I'm going to bisect angle D here. So I put my compass point on D. I draw my arc across D. I'm going to use this little compass because I can. I think it's going to be a little easier for me. Now I'm going to go to one side where the arc that I drew meets DE. And then I'm going to adjust this compass to be a little more accurate on the smaller drawing. And I'm going to draw an arc across here. I shouldn't have to change my side. I'm going to flip my point to the other side. So now it's on DF, and my pen length, again, is intersecting with the arc in DE. So I make this intersection point right out here. I can take my straight edge and connect that to point D. The sharper you have your pencil, the easier it is to get these accurate. Now, I'll do the same thing, angle bisector of angle E. So again, I put my point at E and I do an arc across DE and EF. I then go ahead, put my point where that arc intersects. I'm going to do DF first. I keep adjusting the wrong screw. I'm going to go across here to DE to where the arc meets DE. Draw an arc out here. I'm going to switch the compass point while keeping the distance constant. And I'll do the same thing with DF, or with angle F. I'm going to create its angle bisector here. I got to look very closely to make sure I'm right on, because if you're not very accurate, it's very hard to get this right, and your intersection point doesn't match up that well. So I'm using the smaller compass this time. See if I can get my intersection point to match up really well. And here I have an incenter. This point, now the trick here, and this is a bit of a trick, I need to, where it's going to intersect and be inside, I need it to be on the line where it's perpendicular, otherwise it'll not stay inside. Since I don't know where perpendicular is, I'm going to construct a perpendicular to this point here in the center. So I place my compass on and I do an arc across any side, but I'm choosing EF. And I make 2 points here and here on my arc. Now if I make the perpendicular bisector of those 2 points, it will go through my incenter point. I'm going to make my compass a little bigger. I'm going to go from one side to the other with my perpendicular bisector. It's just one of the safer ways to do it. I have to be very careful to keep track of which arcs are intersecting. So this was the ones I just drew, and the one on the outside is. We can see that going through right about there. So I'm going to, when I draw my circle inside, I gotta shrink my compass down quite a bit. I want to be point on the incenter and then here right on the perpendicular will give me a circle that's going to hit all three sides. So it's actually going to be tangent. The word tangent for hitting without crossing. I'm going to make that darker again here. It's tangent to all three sides of the circle. And there you have circumcenters and incenters.